If you haven't already, you can take sketch 4, which was my vertical axis for the circular pattern. We can hide that sketch by clicking on geometry and going to hide, or clicking on the actual sketch itself and going to hide. Now that we have a solid object, we can start looking at the next phase in our design. So going back to the original concept, it looks like in order to have a candy bowl filled with candy, we need to hollow that box out, and currently our model is solid. Next, we need to shorten that box to somewhere around half the height, so we just need to take some height off the top, and those will be the next two operations that we do with our model. So in SolidWorks, the feature that hollows something out is called shell. And the shell feature works directly on the body. There's no need for a sketch. The first box, the thickness, is whatever material you're going to use, and your boxes will be made out of 0.040 or 40 thousandths thick aluminum, or 1 millimeter. So we'll type in 0.040. The next box down is faces to remove. Now, if I just click the go button right now with no faces in there, it would hollow this box out with a wall thickness of 40 thousandths. But we want the top of the box to be open, so I'll click the top surface and click OK. Now you can see that we do have a hollow box. It is 40 thousandths thick, or 1 millimeter, so the wall thickness is set. And our first step is done. We've hollowed this out. Now the next thing is, it might be difficult for people to reach into this box, so we do need to shorten it just a little bit. One of the ways that we can shorten it is to simply draw a line. So on the front view, I'll start a new sketch. We'll draw a line, and I'll just draw a horizontal line across. Doesn't really matter where this is at this point. We'll use the dimension tool to select the line and the bottom of the part. And we'll set a value, maybe 3 inches. I don't know exactly where this is going to be, but we can change it later. So here we have a line that represents a cutting line, and we're going to use a feature, extruded cut. And if it is set to blind, it's not going to be able to cut through, because that line represents a cutting plane, and it really wants to cut through all. Blind is not a through all, so we simply change the end condition to through all. You can see that the cut previews, and we can click go. So now I have something that looks a little closer to our finished box, and all I have to do is change the height of that cut. In real time, you can see that it does affect the overall shape, and we just pick some point where we think, yeah, that looks good enough. So now we have something that really replicates our box. It is a hollow solid object, but it's not sheet metal yet. So now the next step in our operation is to switch over to a sheet metal tool.